In any other world, you could tell the difference. And let it all unfurl.
Hi, my name is Alex.
Hey, I'm
Jordan.
He forgot again that it was his weekend. He was so
Sometimes I feel like I'm
mom's
screaming
house,
at the
but
world.
He never showed
Screaming
up.
so loud that I'm I'm here. I exist.
She sat me down and told me I lived in a great big castle with high white walls. She sat me down and told me, looked me right in the eye. I was a princess, and nobody could tell me different. That I lived in a castle and nobody could get in unless I asked them. She said that one day I would find my knight in shining armor and then I wouldn't need a castle anymore. And then she laughed and I could smell the beer. She laughed and told me not to wait. I guess I can't blame him really. I mean,
And no
he
one
doesn't
really
know
notices
how
that I'm there.
Nothing
Just
like that.
I just broken it up. Takes
I know.
time to realize
I
I'm
accept this.
terrified.
It just doesn't stop the hurt. How is it that I know what to write? That the words flow, but when I speak.
I hate being the new kid at the beginning of the year. Not knowing anyone. I mean, man, it sucks. And we're always moving around. That should just stay
I
a
always
long
am.
time ago.
I've never been in this high school before. I don't want to mess up. What if I'm the guy who doesn't have any friends? I haven't had a best friend in years. Sure, I have pen pals I've managed to keep, but I've never been able to stay anywhere long enough to meet someone that, clicked. The worst is when I move in the middle of the year. I mean, Dad can't homeschool me, I get that. But it's really hard. Everyone already has their own place. You have to make do with the crumbs of other friendships, and you can never get the whole meal. You just get scraps.
We're always moving around. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool that I've lived in 11 states, but I trade that for staying right
I'm
home
playing
for
Spanish
2
that
years
much.
and
I'm always picked class for teams, never been invited to parties. Nobody knows me. I'm good enough though. I know I am. I know I am.
John Locke criticized monarchy and favored self-government, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I wonder if Benjamin likes me. I wish he would ask
Baron
me to
Montesquieu was an
home.
aristocrat
I
who
have
believed that
been
wealth
tested
fell because
every
people deprived their freedom.
Tom's house.
He believed that the checks and balance system was best for
Unlike
people.
Locke, he believed that people should give
Voltaire
up
was
their
a
rights to
philosopher.
supreme
God, I
rule.
hate this class. I'll probably fail anyway. Voltaire went to prison. Voltaire was French. Voltaire wrote books like 70 in total. Blah, 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 and a whole lot more blahs.
Rome was built on stories.
My grandfather used to tell me the old Chinese folk tales about the dragons that protected Asia and her rivers.
Many, many stories. But at the heart were the twin brothers, raised by wolves.
But I always loved the creation story the best.
Two babies, left alone in the woods, became the founders of one of the largest empires in history, an empire spanning generations. Rome was built on a chance, created from the silver lining.
There was this giant egg, and inside were yin and yang, dark and light, sun and moon, earth and sky, and the great dragon Pangu.
Their mother was Rhea, and their father, the god of war. In order to protect her children from the vicious envy of others, Rhea sent her children down the river. To save them, she let them go, praying for someone to find them. That someone was a wolf.
And when the egg split open, everything was released. And as the dragon grew, so did the earth and sky. He drew his great talons into the dirt, creating rivers, and blew great bursts of flame into the sky, creating stars.
Raised by wolves, found by a shepherd and his wife. Noble birth, poor beginnings. But as they grew older, they realized they no longer wanted to keep sheep. They wanted to be kings.
The dragon created people by blowing tiny bursts of fire and letting them cool. The fire burned inside and gave them life. We're all created from a tiny spark inside.
But Rome was still built on stories, and the stories stayed.
It's just an old myth, but the story stayed.
Once upon a time, there was a
Philosopher who spoke of a god. The god created,
the stories of the earth. One by one, he would spin his tales
and the people of the earth were given them as gifts. He gave them knowledge.
and love. But more importantly, he gave them the power to be able to recognize the difference between
Right and wrong. He gathered all the people together and gave them a purpose. He took each one and he
split them in half, right down the middle, and sent them all over the world, scattered them across the oceans and the continents.
and told them to search, told them to look as far as they had to find their other half, to make themselves whole. But now, a whole made up of two
Separate pieces. I didn't. think.
You know that age-old story, boy meets girl? I wish someone
Kelly
would
is
look
having a
at their
birthday
eyes when
party.
they're young and tell them
Every
it's all
single
wrong.
keep
person
trying to
in
get
my
mom
grade
to
got
sign
an
the report
invitation.
card.
Everyone's
guess
telling
that's
me,
last time.
maybe she should go out
How did I have volunteered?
Pardon, I
I've
didn't
never
read
been.
it for a while. I really hope you do.
I just need one person. If I could prove I was good enough to maybe just one person, maybe that's all I need. I mean, once you're in, you're in.
Once upon a time, my mother looked me in the eye and told me I was a princess, a queen, royalty.
Once upon a time, my dad put down his work and told me I was a knight in shining armor, a prince, a king.
And for once, it didn't matter that she was drunk or falling apart or not all there.
For once, he set his work down and spent some time just with me.
She told me that I was worth it, that I was enough, I would always be enough. I just had to believe it, understand it, accept it.
He told me that I didn't need other people to be whole. That despite the stories, you can fill yourself up with the beauty of the world and not wait on someone else to fill it for you.
Just take a little bit and pour.
For once, I could look my mother in the eye and be proud of her. In the hurricane that was us, we had a moment of peace.
For the first time, he took a moment to be with me. No distractions, no interference, just the two of us together.
She told me that sometimes, though, you find someone and they click. Like two puzzle pieces that just fit together.
In a messed up jigsaw.
All you need is the right fit.
Sometimes you find the other half, that the God split, that had been wandering around.
Looking for its other half.
Until it finds the match.
Today, I think I found someone.